Hello, everyone. So now that you have your OpenAI API key, we want to now transition to the next phase of getting you up and running on Cuppa. And that is simply inputting your OpenAI API key into Cuppa. So let's get started with basically setting up your foundation for Cuppa moving forward. So um, you have your API keys ready to go. You copied it to your clipboard. Here's a really good starting point for setting your foundation for Cuppa. So hit settings and you'll see this tab come up here. You have your profile. You have some integrations here. Your WordPress integration, I know that's a favorite of most. That's in My Saved Presets, and we'll talk about that next. But Google Drive is here, great for team sharing articles, things like that. Randomly, we have Blogger. There's going to be a couple more here as well. Shopify is going to be here. Zapier, a webhook is going to be here as well. We might even do something direct to a email provider. So a lot of integrations coming. We think it's super useful. The more we can integrate into other platforms, the better. So definitely check for more integrations coming in 2024. OpenAI. So this is where you drop in your key. Again, I mentioned in the first video, obviously don't share your API key, but if you do, like in this case, you can simply go to your account and revoke the access and it's deleted. So I will be deleting this key right after, but I did want to show you, um, if it's blank and you try to generate an article, you go here and you'll see that nothing's there. It'll say you need an API key. So this is the magic switch that turns everything on. So you'll get the green check mark saved, and most importantly, it's saved locally. It is not saved in any database we have because we don't want to keep these keys, obviously, because it's a security issue. So directly there. And then lastly, your subscription page. And this is basically your way to manage your Cuppa plan. So obviously mine's a little different since I own the app, but here you'll see your base plan. And then obviously if you have the power user upgrade, this is where you'll see it as well. We will have some updates here where it will just make it super simple to toggle on and off power user. Right now it's a bit clunky with our Stripe integration, but look for that definitely Q1 2024. But this is where you manage everything with your subscription. So the magic switch is turned on. What's the next step would be, instead of generating right away, which you can, I highly recommend going to My Saved Presets first and just setting up this foundation, and then you don't have to worry about it moving forward. So WP connection. So this is where we connect. We connect with the user application password, which is in your WordPress. And for the URL, leave off the WP admin part. It's literally just the URL of your site. Username from WordPress. This is not your Cuppa username. That's always a mistake sometimes when people try to connect. And then your application password is generated directly from the user account within WordPress. If you hit add connection, you'll see an alert up here, connected, or you'll see a fail. If you do fail, hit this see video guide. That will be helpful to get you up and running here. A quick note about this. WordPress, no matter the host, is becoming a little more restrictive of the connection. If you are having any issues with the connection, there's two areas to look at. One is your host. A lot of hosts don't have valid APIs to the WordPress REST API. So if there's no valid connection there, this will not work for you. Don't worry, there is another way to export directly to WordPress, even if your host denies this. The second most common issue is security plugins. I think WordFence has an automatic feature, I think, in the plugin that basically disables the user generated application password. So those are the very two big elements. If you get any type of like JSON error up in the corner, either here at the connection point or exporting, it's usually like a host thing, a limit thing. something that they're restricting. So we're working on improvements there to slow down when you're trying to publish huge bulk projects, but that'll be something that comes in 2024. And not to worry if this doesn't work, we do have additional ways for you to obviously export your articles to WordPress. So this is just one that is super seamless and useful when it works with your setup. So the challenging thing with Cuppa is everyone has a unique setup, right? So some people are on WordPress, some people aren't on WordPress. Some people have 1,000 plugins, some people have 2 plugins. So that's our challenge on our side, but it's something that we're obviously always looking at to improve, and always taking in data once we essentially see some things working or not working. So that's the WordPress connection. My presets. This one's big as well. Also, you have a video guide is here also. But this is definitely something you need to do right away and get pretty familiar with it as well. This will make your life so much easier. Single article generation, but also bulk, specifically bulk, as you start to publish more and more. And let me dig into it. Basically, you're setting up all of these variables within the prompting system when you're generating the article at single, at bulk, or at programmatic. So you can type in, you can test 1, test 2. You can change tone of voice. You can change point of view. You can change language. You can change country. And then there's a bunch of toggles on and off. There's probably going to be more toggles in the very near future. But again, think of this as a way to almost like a system prompt starting to build your article. This is essentially what that is. So this is the basic option. If you want to include FAQs, great, toggle that on. If you want to include YouTube suggestions, toggle that on. If you want to include meta description, toggle that on. If you want to include stock featured images, toggle that on. So you get the idea. There are more integrations coming. We have one stock provider right now. It's honestly not that great. That's why we have the AI images in its place, which is obviously much stronger and, of course, more unique. But we'll hit that in a second. You've built this initial basic tab out. You can save it, or you can hit the advanced options. Definitely recommend hitting the advanced options. And this is where you'll really dig into that system level prompt, where highly recommend each of these being used, especially the extra content prompt. There's a ton of valuable information here on the prompt channel within the Discord community. So definitely check that out. This can dictate a lot of the output. I would say look for all of these character limits to increase as the models now allow much more input into the articles. And also, just something to keep in mind with AI in general, the output is only as strong as the input, right? So that's why presets and things leading into building of the article is so important. You need very strong and high quality inputs to have the same type of consistent high quality output. So keep that in mind. These are all super, super important. I use all 3. Keywords we're getting stronger on. This is actually about to be increased to 1,000. And we're going to have some interesting things here that auto pull, but definitely feel free to use. Lastly, target word count. This is a must, especially if you're if you don't want the model to just run as is. You need to restrict H2s and H3s. We'll probably have a much stronger word count in total of the article coming soon. But right now, this is your best bet for controlling that in January 2024. So definitely use this. Again, hit save. So now you have basic and advanced done. Content manipulation. This is something that, again, is super, super valuable. I think I have a CSV now of phrases that I change that AI generates that automatically changes to another phrase that you can import. So again, Discord has a very strong list. I think it's now up to 87 phrases or words that are replaced. Very common, for me, telltale AI written type of language. In conclusion, in summary, are the main two that people always talk about. I use it for. I hate sometimes how AI always uses exclamation points. For some reason, I think GPT 3.5 when I was building there, which is a great option and super cheap, but I don't need an article with 25 exclamation points, right? So that's where you can replace that here. So definitely a super valuable resource is available on Discord, but you can load this up with 100 phrases to change. I think the one on Discord is somewhere in the 80s already. So definitely useful. Last but not least, AI images. And this is twofold right here. So if you click this on, if you have Power User Upgrade, you will be able to do in-body images. You can leave it blank, and it will base it based on the H2s in your article, or you can simply put in a toggle and do it that way. A couple of notes about this. So if you have two images in the article, it's actually going to be 3 total AI images generated, the placeholder, plus the 2 in bodies. So that would be 3. One thing to keep in mind is DALL-E 3, the version we use, is about 8 cents per generation. So if you're doing 3 images, 24 cents. So just keep that in mind. I think the output is phenomenal, and makes the blog article unique. Some people like to do 6 images. Some people like to do 7. Some people like to do 1. Some people like to do 0. Totally dependent on what the objective is with the content you are building. So if it's a money page and you're really looking to, monetize with display ads and you need a lot of images and 3,000 words, load up. Like, it makes sense. I mean, even with 3 images, 24 cents. If you're using GPT-4, 1,500 words, you're looking at like a 28-cent article. So keep that in mind. It's a pull through to you guys for your costs. So keep that in mind. You can also do a custom style. So this automatically, we set up a few just placeholder types of images that generate, but you can also do your own. So once that's done, hit save preset, and then you are good to go for building with this preset across all generations, single, bulk, programmatic. These are going to become, in 2024, we've already added, I think, 3 or 4 of these tabs recently. My guess is there's going to be a lot more optionality in here soon. More toggles to turn on and off, more preset learning, where you can help us dictate. If you're building for a website in consumer health, you can list off 5 websites that are maybe competitors but are trying to mimic the style of that website. So presets are going to be a lot more robust in the future, even more so than they are now. But hit save preset, and you're really getting close now to starting to generate. Excuse me. And then let's see here, discard, but hit save, obviously. OpenAI presets. Okay, so my advice for everyone starting out: do not hit show advanced options. Just don't do it. Don't look at anything else but creativeness. And that is something you can look at within your API playground, which we talked about in video 1. So points, think for blog writing and article writing, 0.7 is less creative, 0.8 is more creative, all the way to 1 being the most creative. I think 99% of Cuppa customers live between 0.7 and 1. If you drift to 0.5 and below, it's really like coding language. So keep that in mind. Don't hit show advanced options. I'll hit that on a later video. Just per model, pick your poison. hit save preset, and to go. But you'll see here and you'll see here where you can learn about that as well. So that's it. This was a longer video than I thought, but this is how you set the foundation to then go in and really start to create content, which we're going to hit next. Single article, bulk generation, which also has the programmatic as well. So you are now API key is success. You have an account with OpenAPI, OpenAI API, and you're ready to start generating. And that's what we're going to hit next.